we've got a busy day today.
Hello?
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Rob.
Yeah, just letting you know we're on the road right now.
The kids are really excited to hear you talk, Rob.
Well, looking forward to being there, too. We'll see you around 2 o'clock, okay?
Okay, we will see you then.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, how did you feel when I was a kid?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you were my first kid. I guess I was a little nervous.
No, I mean about the state of the world. Like, I love Elliot to pieces.
Who are those guys?
But I'm a little bit nervous about the world that I've brought him into. It seems like it's kind of getting worse all the time.
You must be hungry, huh? You need some food?
So food is your answer to climate change and pollution?
No. Food is my answer to you being hungry and a little bit, prickly. Do you want to eat?
Yes, we should eat.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, let's do A&W. They have the hormone-free beef.
I don't even know what to say about that, Nick, but, well.
Hi, my name is Nick Saik, and lately, I've had some questions surrounding what's true about our food. My dad's a baby boomer who grew up on a farm, and he's worked in agriculture all of his life. Understanding each other isn't easy at the best of times, and when it comes to food, we need science as a common language if we're going to make any sense of the other's point of view. And that's the goal. Join me while I annoy this guy with my skepticism as we search for the answers to my questions about our food. Welcome to Learn GMO.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Me too.
All right, let's see what we got here.
So Rob's job is to help farmers do the best job they can.
I don't know. What do you want?
God, I wanted like a chicken thing, but the tomatoes on that look really GMO. He likes technology, he loves GMOs, and he hates the idea that I might turn his grandson into a liberal snowflake with no appreciation for agriculture and no hope for the future, which he sees as a half-full glass. This is how I see the future. I don't think we make it. And if we don't make it, what's the point of messing around with something as if he is GMO?
Nicholas, the only thing GMO about those tomatoes is Photoshop. This advertising in here at A&W has really got a lot of us in agriculture upset. They advertise no hormones or steroids when they're the same thing. And quite frankly, there's way more hormones and steroids in the French fries than there ever be in the burger, GMO.
I'm pretty skeptical of all of that you just said. Now, I did look this up. Hormones and steroids are the same thing, and potatoes do have a surprising amount of estrogen in them. But anytime something like this comes up, I'm going to put the source right up here. You can't just take Rob's word for it.
You're skeptical.
Yes.
Well, that's the problem with it. It's one thing to be skeptical. It's another thing to be negative. I find a lot of what you're doing is really negative. Hi.
Cool.
Gee, thank you. Nick, there's one thing about being skeptical. There's another thing about being negative. I mean, I'm skeptical of a lot of things here, too, about organic farming, but you got to keep yourself open. Doesn't that make sense?
No, that doesn't make any sense at all. I think that you're making sense. I think you're just trying to not state that your generation really messed up the world for my generation.
Didn't you read that email from the Hans Rosling, the Swedish statistician?
I did not read it, no.
Well, you need to have a look at that because things are actually pretty good for you.
Okay. Before I eat? So Hans Rosling was a statistician who set out to prove how full or empty our collective glass is. He compiled data about income and life expectancy from all over the world. Here's Hans.
200 years ago, all countries of the world had a life expectancy less than 40 years and had an income less than $3,000. Now I start the world.
So, according to these bubbles which represent different countries, people are living longer, wealthier lives. And not just in the first world either. Pretty much every country has improved, which wouldn't have been my first intuitive guess.
And here we are today. We have a continuous world from high-income countries with long life expectancy to low-income countries with very low life expectancy. But all countries of the world today has more than, or are estimated to have more than 40 years of life expectancy.
Okay, fair enough. He was using pretty agreeable science. But even if the stats are true, they don't line up with what 90% of people, including myself, think about the world. I mean, have you watched the news lately? Have you seen the internet lately? That does not play. The world is not getting any better.
Your perceptions doesn't mean it's reality.
I'm going to prove it to you right now. Smash gut. So over the last few years, I've been working on a documentary about this whole organic GMO thing. I think my dad's opinion is just that, it's one opinion, so I've spoken to a lot of experts in the field. In Hawaii, I spoke to members of an anti-GMO group called Shaka. Mark Sheehan is like the opposite guy to my dad. His views of modern farming are nowhere near as rosy.
You don't have to think about it for very long to realize that you can't keep dumping pesticides, fungicides, insecticides, homicide, suicide. What do those words have in common? Side means to kill. And if you make things that kill, guess what? They do. They kill things. And we, because of bioaccumulation.
This is why I can't decide how to feel. Dad says farmers using technology is what's got us to now and is what we need to make it to the future, but Mark says that same technology is the reason we can't make it to the future. Mark's argument makes my dad's optimism look kind of short-sighted and uninformed.
Just because I'm optimistic doesn't mean I'm uninformed. You want uninformed crap. That Mark guy that you listen to, I can't even believe what came out of his mouth. Nick, isn't it time we started talking to some real farmers like that Ken Kamiya guy, the guy in Hawaii that's a papaya grower?
Yeah, we're getting to him.
Well, we need to get to him, Nick. This stuff that you're showing right now not even the realm.
Okay, settle down. Here's Ken Kamiya.
Okay, the ripeness of papaya is determined not by the color, but by feel.
There is a big anti-GMO movement in Hawaii. This has to do with agriculture companies like Monsanto having facilities on the islands, but that's a whole other story. There are farmers in Hawaii who aren't associated with Monsanto, who still support GMO technology, and Ken Kamiya is one of those farmers. According to Ken, he wouldn't have papayas to farm if it wasn't for genetic engineering.
We were all happy farmers going along, and all of a sudden the papaya ring spot showed up.
Ring spot is a virus that targets and destroys papayas, and when it rolled through Oahu, it nearly flattened the entire papaya industry.
In my case, my first fields were in this area. I got wiped out. Oahu was just wiped out, and we just about gave up all the papayas on Oahu.
I'd have given up. This glass isn't just half empty, it's leaking all over the place. But Ken and a team of scientists figured out a clever, if time-consuming, workaround the virus. They used a mild strain of the ring spot virus to inoculate each plant, kind of like a ring spot vaccine.
And it worked.
But inoculating each plant isn't a long-term solution. For that, Ken's team turned to genetic modification, or more accurately, genetic engineering.
Hey, listen, why use the live virus? Just use the coat protein gene from that virus and work it in there. And so eventually they got that. They got a gene packet developed, and they inserted the coat protein gene, and then lo and behold, resistant papayas.
This is a Kamiya papaya.
Fresh GMO papaya.
Yep, right on.
Genetically engineered to resist the virus that almost wiped it out. Rob loves this example. It shows how optimistic farmers can use technology to solve some pretty big problems.